Hi everybody, welcome back. I am Leslie Plazz, author of The Audacious Adventures of Zazoo Plazz, part-time superhero, full-time mom. And welcome back. It's Monday, May 18th, 2020. Welcome to those of you who are just joining me. And glad to see everybody who's come back. And wow. So what have we got today? Spent the weekend cleaning up around the house and cleaning out my room here because we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn this year in my 4th house, which is your daily environment, where you spend your time, your house, your family, things like that. So that's where I'm getting hit this year with all the changes is my day-to-day environment. So it makes sense. So just as I was sitting here trying to decide what should I talk to the people about today, I got a knock on the door and my husband said, we have some news. Our neighbors right behind us next door we have 5 big pine trees which were put in when we moved in the house. They were little tiny things, and now they're way over the top of the house, way over the roof. So every few weeks or so we have, and especially in the fall, we have tons of pine needles. And in the winter the snow comes and the branches get weighed down, and it's very messy, and they're kind of dangerous because if we had a storm, they come over onto the house. And it's been a little pet peeve of mine. It's been needling me, so to speak, for a while. So miracles. Our neighbors said that they talked to a landscaping company who does our lawn, and they got a decent price from them. And my husband said, why don't you ask, my friend Millie, used to be my running buddy, who's my friend who I write about in the book, who I ran the road race with. Her husband happens to be in the tree business, and he's, text him and see, check out the quote and see if they can do better and so forth. And because we want to give him a chance to, get some business and make sure that we're getting a good deal. So long story short, after that conversation, I opened the book randomly, and I got to this picture of me and my friend Millie dressed up to run the race. And I said, okay, that was weird, because I had just been talking about her husband who was in the tree business. So I thought, what does that mean? So maybe I started thinking about pines, pining, and how she would probably say, stop pining for me, because my friend passed away 3 years ago from leukemia. And when I go running, and other times, she pops into my mind, but I think she's in my heart now. And sometimes when I'm really tuned in and I'm ready to make a decision, she'll pop up in some unexpected way, and I think somebody's looking out for me, steering me in a certain direction. And sometimes people are coming around in our lives to help us, and sometimes we are the ones being asked to do something to help others, whether we realize it at the time or not. And it may be a big inconvenience, or we might say, why am I thinking about this person that I haven't thought about in years? Or why am I why am I doing this? Why am I? But if we keep in mind the fact that God's got a plan, the universe has a plan, of which most of the time we are unaware, right? We might have our own agenda. Oh, I really want to go for a run. I want to go and run this race. I really want to go out, go to a show, and they're keeping me here. Don't we say that all the time? Like our parents, when we were teenagers or something, we'd say, I want to go to so-and-so's party. And they said, no, God, you can't go there. You can't do that, right? I think I ran into that a couple of times. I really wanted to do something in my adolescent haste without thinking, without forethought. I was a pretty independent, common sense kind of a kid, where I wouldn't just run off usually and do things like that. But occasionally, I'd be with a group of people and I would just be caught up. That happens. And they would call me back to earth and they'd say, have you thought about this? No. So I think, in a way, this is really a time for that. And I thought, it's a time for cutting down, making way, and then, like with our trees, we'll go and we'll get some nice arborvitaes that'll make a nice natural fence so that we'll have privacy, right? We won't have a lot of, messy pine needles to clean up. So, I got my Sasquatch shirt on today. See him? You have the Bigfoot and the explorers, the mountain, and the little trees. I put this shirt on before I realized I was going to be even talking about this today, so go figure. I was cleaning up my closet, making room for new clothes that I'll be getting someday. So anyway, I wanted to read a little bit today. So the story that comes up today is, and I'll give a little background first. I talk about this Thanksgiving road race that I wanted to run back in 2018. And it was really cold that year. It was like sub-zero wind chills and things. And everybody was, warning the runners to stay inside because they would freeze running out there. And I say, well-meaning friends and forecasters warn runners to stay inside lest they freeze their drumsticks and giblets at the annual turkey trot. Zazoo nagged at me to carry through with the only race I would run all year. You wimp, she scolded. Put on your face mask and stop whining. So then, after that, I say that a friend of mine, Karine, who's in the story, she actually ran the race because she promised a friend she'd do it. And all you could see was their eyes because they were so bundled up. And all the runners were running like Ralphie, who was Ralphie, the younger brother in A Christmas Story, who was all bundled up, because it was so cold. But what happened was that day, there was the Zazoo voice, which is, I've come to realize, my childhood, impetuous, impulsive, hey, let's just go. And in a way, it was more of a masculine, let's go out in the world, let's just tough it out, let's show them what we're made of, let's do it, and who cares about the ramifications, who cares about the consequences? But the voice of reason is what came in and ultimately won out, and I stayed home, and as you read, I decided to stay home and run on the treadmill before I wore the race shirt, because that would be bad luck. Any runners out there? You never wear the shirt till after you've run the race, right? Because you don't deserve it. It's sort of a jinx. So during this time, what's the thing that you would have just impulsively gone out and done that now the voice of reason is saying, you know, better not? And the voice of maturity, the voice of my higher self, my better self. What can you do instead that will be more beneficial in the long run for you and other people? And that brings in more of the feminine, like mom telling you, grandma, I don't know, think about it. And stop pining. Oh, what's needling you? Needling. Oh, okay. Think about it. So, until next time, Zazoo Plazz, Sasquatch, Needy, wishing you a good day. See you next time. Bye-bye.